Hi there, Lisa Arana here, and welcome to another Assemble This video. Today's card is all about this darling little owl. We'll do some watercoloring with distress inks and then add a bunch of cute little accents as well. I'm featuring the Owlie Wishes stamp set from Unity Stamp Company with that darling little owl and dandelions, plus lots of great wish-filled sentiments. I'm starting out with my stamp in my Mini Misty with some Canson XL watercolor paper, and I'm just stamping that with some ColorBox chalk ink in dark brown. I did prep my paper with an embossing buddy, which is an embossing tool to help keep the stray embossing powder down, because I will be embossing this in just a moment. And I repeat stamped that a couple times just so I'd have a nice solid image. And then I'm going to cover this in some clear embossing powder. And again, that embossing buddy tool is going to help prevent the strays. Slides right off. I did warm up my heat tool for a good 30 to 60 seconds and then heat that embossing powder up. Now I'm using distress inks as my watercolor medium today. I have them mushed down into an acrylic block. And I'm just picking those up with my watercolor brush pen and just kind of laying that down and then using the colors to create a bit of shadow at the bottom of his eyes. And then I'm using that baby wipe as just a towel to clean off my paints in between. So now I'm going to start with the body of the owl and moving on to a little bit of that medium brown, and I mixed in a little bit of the light as well, and just moving fairly quickly and just making a nice solid covering of his body. I colored his belly the same color as his eyes and doing the same thing, just adding a bit of shading at the bottom of his belly. And then last I'm going to go in and add a bit of shading to his main body as well, up around his eyes, under his chin, and then just add a bit of speckles here and there just for some texture. I just think he's so cute. He's so fun to color in lots of different ways as well. I've seen him colored in fun colors like green and pink. I've colored in grays. I tend to be more of a neutral colorer, but I think it would be fun to do a blue owl one day. That would be neat. I'm just adding a little pink to his cheeks, and then last a little bit of yellow to his beak. I set that aside again to dry completely before I moved on. So now I'm working on my actual card front. I have some craft cardstock on my card front, and then I'm stamping the dandelions in a little bit of a darker craft color. You could also use Versamark ink. That is a great way to create a deeper color on any kind of a colored cardstock. Now I have some fun colored and patterned papers, and I die cut the bottom ones into scallops and I stacked those, and I'm just going to glue them behind the owl. And then I did the same thing with just some strips at the top, and again gluing that to the back of the panel. This is a great way to use up scraps, or if you want to save your pattern paper, you don't waste as much. These just happen to be scraps for me, so it was a great way to use them up. And now I'm just going to glue that down to the front of the card with some foam adhesive. And then I stamped my sentiment on a strip of craft cardstock. And then I'm notching out the bottom to create a banner-like sentiment. And then I did the same thing with the strips of pattern paper that matched. And that's just a nice way to add a pop of color behind the sentiment as well. And then at the top of that, I have a tiny little paper clip that I added a bit of a bow with some string. And I should have probably done this before I glued down my panel, but luckily the foam adhesive was forgiving and I could lift that up and slide that in. Here is the finished card with that cute watercolored owl and all the little things like the watermark dandelion background, fun pattern paper, and the sweet sentiment banner. I'll have all the supplies listed below, Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it. Plus, if you have any questions or sweet comment, post below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!